Sorry, Doc, says the top of that, but you must go to Everett Station for a while. I know he'll be glad to see you. As you wish, sir. And just like that, Doug trundled sadly away, leaving Diesel to smirk in triumph. Gordon and Henry didn't notice this, but the red tender engine did. Later, James was waiting for Diesel to shunt the coaches for his local passenger train, but the coaches never came. "Where is he?" he exclaimed impatiently. More time passed, and he soon became cross. He decided to make his way to the yard to see what the trouble was. When he arrived, it was all in disarray. Trucks were in front of coaches, and coaches were in front of trucks, let alone being in the wrong sidings. James was furious. "Blast that stupid Diesel! If Doug were here, he..." James paused, thinking to himself as he looked about the yard. He began pondering to himself as he began shunting, thinking about Doug. The more he thought about Doug's behavior, the more he began to doubt Diesel's words. He's always so concerned about his Great Western way. He wouldn't resort to doing something like this, would he? Just as he shunted the coaches together at last, he saw Diesel slither by, chuckling to himself. "Thou showing," he said triumphantly. James was alarmed. At that moment, he began following Diesel about the yard, staying hidden to see what he'd do. Diesel as he went about shunted in the big yard. Boasted about how clever he was as he banged the trucks about in their sidings. "As revolutionary as I am," he purred to himself. "Perhaps I could take care of all the big engines too." James heard everything and began thinking of what to do. Quick on his wheels, he immediately formed a plan. As Diesel rolled out from the siding, James followed, holding alongside. "You silly Diesel!" he yelled furiously. Diesel was surprised by his sudden appearance. "If you don't shut my train and fix the yard, you'll be sorry!" He then puffed away. Diesel, now red in the face, began scheming at once to pay James out. But of course, this is all part of James's plan. When Diesel reached the yard, he began talking to the trucks. He was about to pull the same stunt he pulled on Doug. "I've heard," Diesel began as he rolled next to some trucks. "I've heard about some things James has said about Gordon. Wouldn't you like to know what it is?" Instead of an instant reply from the trucks, another voice came. "Why, yes, Diesel. I would care to know." Diesel went pale as James pulled alongside. With the Fat Controller in tow. "I don't have any room on my railway for engines that cause this kind of confusion and delay. I am frankly disappointed in you, Diesel." I knew Duck was never behind the lies, and James has shown me that I was right. Once you have shunted him his train, you shall be sent away at once. As the Fat Controller finished, Diesel, as quiet as a mouse, slunk quietly away to collect James's coaches. As for you, James, I'm proud of you for being a watchful eye. However, you still have treated Duck poorly, and I expect you to be sorry for it.
Believe me, sir, I am. And I will never believe any unfounded stories again.
That's a good engine. Carry on with your work.
He then walked away, leaving James to think about what to say to Duck, hoping he would see him again soon. And indeed it would. James would see Duck very soon. But that's another story.